there everyone, welcome to the Gutenberg walkthrough. With each new Gutenberg release, I'm reviewing the more visually impactful changelog items. My hope is that this will provide a much needed visual understanding of the new features in Gutenberg. Today, I'm reviewing Gutenberg 9.2. This is the last Gutenberg version that is getting into the WordPress 5.6 release, which is coming out soon. So let's jump in, see what visual changes we have. The first up is adding video tracks functionality. So if we add a video to our post here, come over here, pick a video. Now we have an option. Let's see where it is. Right here, text tracks. So subtitles, captions, chapters, all these sort of tracks which are additional files to the video can now be uploaded for the video or added to the media gallery and appended right in line here. That's a pretty nice feature, I believe for great for accessibility. Next up on the list is transform multiple select boxes to a columns block. Multiple selected boxes into a columns block. So if we were to do that, I'm going to just delete this bob. I'm going to select 3 paragraph blocks here. If I come up here and transform to columns, each of the paragraph blocks are now inside their own column. That's a pretty cool thing. So paragraph, paragraph, paragraph. I'm just undoing the change there. And another addition, we'll get rid of this block too right now. I'm going to show the next feature is the cover block. It includes repeated background images now, which is a cool thing. So if I add a pattern here, see how it blows it up really big, but if I want to set it to be a repeated background image, it drops it back down and repeats it throughout. So now I get this really cool effect. Let me widen that up there. Looks a lot, very, very good. Couple more features or enhancements that I see on our list here for 9.2 include a few found in the site editor. All right, for site, so if we jump down to the site editor, which is part of Gutenberg's plugin, this is the part for full site editing. You can edit templates and so forth. First one that comes to mind is adding a drop-down button to view templates in the sidebar. So we've got this nice nifty header identification here. Lets you know what kind of what template page you're on. I'm on the front page template, and it gives you a description of what this template is, and here's that button to browse all the templates that are included in my theme. This drop down is kind of a new feature for 9.2, and then with the inclusion of this button, and clicking that button just drops me into the cool new sidebar that we see, or navigation menu here, that allows you to navigate through your templates, through various pages, and so forth without leaving the full site editor, which is really cool. So I can jump to see my page templates, my post templates. Back out of that. So I've got an indexed front page templates. Jump back to my theme. I can view template parts. This is my header. Notice that it kind of isolates the header by itself when I do that. And then I can, if I want, I can jump back to the full page, front page template or index page template. So really nice. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to save any changes there. Some really nice additions coming along in full site editing right now, which is great to see that happening. Another one, I want to get this so we kind of see. I'm adding a heading so that we could kind of see some of the changes here in the document outline. So the info panel, first off, we have the info panel layout improvements, which are included here. Okay, this is the document outline that I was talking about and the heading that I just added. So we kind of see these headings are being laid out correctly. The cool thing with the info panel up here, though, is that if these stats exceed 3 in this, it drops them down to this, or it wraps them, or it exceeds 4 or something like this. So you get this nice little wrapping of the stats here, and whereas before I believe blocks or paragraphs by itself was down on the bottom, which was kind of odd. So better layout of the info panel. Another addition to the UI in Gutenberg is, if you recall, this option, this ellipsis up here, was named Options. And opening that up at the bottom, there was also a menu item here that said Options. So you had two different options here. This was Options and Settings, I think, at one time, and then Options down below. But now this has been updated to reflect Preferences. And when clicking this, we get this modal that has a very nice layout separating some of the preferences by general, keyboard, and appearance. Document settings, additional panels we can include. And this is a really neat addition to this panel, this modal here, is that there is a reduced UI option. And if you see these icons up in this top bar, some of these things, when I turn this on, it basically eliminates a lot of these things. Same with, like, let's look at the toolbar. Let's look at a toolbar as well. So here's a good toolbar with a lot of things, right? So that's selected. We're going to come in here. I'm going to turn on the reduce the interface option, which we should see some changes in the block toolbar as well. Yeah, the drag goes away, kind of allowing you to still grab here and drag, but it just removes the icon from that. There is a spotlight mode, which kind of, you could see kind of subtly minimizes everything, which we've had, Gutenberg has had for a long time. There is this option of displaying button labels. When this option is turned on, currently the top toolbar is, or the top bar, what we call, is what changes, which is this bar up here. I know we have a lot of icons up here, and if we turn this on, all the icons are reflected now as actual buttons rather than the icons. And then using theme styles or not. So right now I have this turned on, and because I have the Gutenberg starter theme in, which really doesn't pull into any theme styles into the editor, we're not seeing this change. But something like on 2020 or 2019, some of the default themes, if you check this off, I believe if they're loading the editor styles correctly, what it does is it gets rid of all the theme styles from the editor, which is an interesting feature. Adding single column functionality to the columns block. Oh, this is a cool one. I actually really like this addition. So when you go to add yourself a columns block, you used to just get these options here. Now we've got a single column option, which is really cool because we can pop that open. I'm going to jump back up to the columns block. We're going to make this full width. And then when I add text in here, this is a paragraph block. If you notice, the paragraph block now extends outside of the content area because it's in a columns block, and it automatically assumes that it gets it expands the width of the column that it's in, which is really a cool way to get the text to break out of the column area if that's something you need to do for design purposes. We can do something here that might be more noticeable. I'm going to get rid of this cover block real quick, and we're going to delete this. I'm going to actually do it here with this. I can convert this, remember, to transform it to a columns block, right? So now it's a paragraph inside of a column block, inside of the columns block, and now I'm going to make this full width, and it blows out that paragraph. makes it full width. Really cool stuff. So let's see, add more writing flow options. Okay, I went over those that were included. Those writing flow options were these here, right? Spot load, spotlight mode, display buttons, reduce interface. Okay. And add an option to make post featured image a link. Oh, cool. So if I was, say, manipulating or editing the query block where I have a list of posts shown, I would also get a post featured image block. Oh, let's see. Post. Here, let's try featured. There we go. Post featured image block. And now I can have that link to the actual post. But because it's not in a proper setting right now, it's not allowing me to really add the image. It should dynamically pull the image in when I'm, you know what, let's take a look at that real quick, because I think that's really good for us to see, for y'all to see. So there's been something called the query block that's been worked on lately, right? And what this block does is it drops in a set of posts or whatever it may be. Like, we don't have a whole lot of settings. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So whether it be posts, pages, or projects, whatever my post type might be on the site, and I can, filter that with categories and order everything. So what's neat about this, right? Like, if I add in the post-featured image block now see how it dynamically pulled in from my post here. It dynamically pulled in the image, the featured image, which is cool. And I could set that featured image so when it's in a feed, a list of posts like this, and notice that when I added the feature image to this particular feed item, it really got added to all of them. So the feature image from each of these posts is showing up. And now each of these featured images, when I turn it on to link to the post, will link the user. They can click the image to go to that direct post rather than having to click solely on the post title. Wow. Okay. Good stuff. This query block is undergoing a lot of design changes, a lot of little updates and technical changes to really improve it right now. It's going to be something that, theme developers, website builders are really going to get some good use out of. So we're trying to dial that all in right now currently. The additional pieces that I want to show you all are in the widget screen. Okay, so if I have, hopefully, yep, okay. So I've got my widget screen here. Right, so if I come to it, this is the Gutenberg widget screen, the block editor version of the widget screen now, where I can select like a current existing widget, which here I have my search widget, and all widgets now get included inside of something we call the legacy widget block. And notice the widget inside of it is the search widget right now. And this allows me to preview or edit. Notice there's a little bug here happening on the preview, but I'm able to give, if the widget comes with a title, I can give it a title right now. Currently the title is search, and move this around in the wherever I'm at. I'm in the inactive widgets right now, so I don't have any other widget bars, so we can't really see some of the other cool tricks that this does. The widget areas, I'm sorry. But we're showing the legacy widget name in the list view, which is cool now. So we see recent posts, and search, which is down here. So you kind of, in the list view, you kind of see in the inactive widgets bar, you can see each of the widgets that are being included there. I've made some changes. If I try to jump away, right, if I go to posts, I'm now getting a confirmation here that, there are unsaved changes. Do you want to leave the page or you want to stay? I'll stay, and then I'll update first, which is cool. Before we weren't quite including that yet. Now that's part of this. Some of the other changes here with the widget screen is displaying the widget area's name and description in the sidebar, which I pointed out here. It's a really nice addition. And if we had more than one widget area in here, if I were to grab a block, a widget, and drag it into another one, it would automatically expand and allow me to drop it right into that new widget area. So lots of work has happened here. As you can see, though, there are still a few bugs, and those have been refined as well. In fact, I think a lot of these might already be resolved. However, they did not make it into the Gutenberg 9.2 version, and so we've decided, as many of you know, to hold off on including the widget screen in WordPress core right now. So probably, possibly next WordPress release, like that would be 5.7, should include the new widget screen. And the cool thing about this widget screen is not only do I add widgets, but I can add blocks to this as well, and pick some. I can just add blocks among widgets in specific areas. That really just gives you as the users more options of what you can include in your sidebars and your footer, and it's really cool. So I believe those are the primary visual changes that I wanted to go over with Gutenberg 9.2. I hope you all enjoyed the video. And oh, look at that, look at that. I updated it, and now it's giving me an error. It's still telling me I'd have unsaved changes. I'm not going to worry about that right now. As you can see, some of the widget stuff still needs to be worked out. So anyways, I appreciate you all watching, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you.